Doing this trim in the back of any van is very difficult. In my last van, it took me a long time. So I got this trim kit, and I'm gonna show you how I turned it into this beautiful cream colored trim. One thing that is notoriously very difficult to build in a van is this trim area. So I got a D-pillar kit from the brand Go Code off of Vanlife Outfitters, and we are going to install it. This is going to save me so much time on this van build. This is what the kit comes with. It has 3 different pieces of this ABS plastic, 2 on the sides, and then we have 1 that's already up right there. I am also going to have to actually cut the ones on the side to account for the bed that I've already built, but this should be a pretty quick and easy process. Along with those 3 pieces of plastic trim, the kit also comes with some hardware. We have riv nuts, this Go Code sticker. They also gave gummy bears, I already ate those. I am going to put the riv nuts in today for the side pieces. This project easily could have taken 15 minutes, but I had to do some customizations to it. I cut out for where the bed is, and I actually cut it into 2 parts. So underneath my bed, I kept that trim, and I kept it black. I didn't spray paint it, but I had it there because whenever I open that section, I can see the pillar as I'm looking at my batteries. So that was a really quick and easy thing that I added underneath my vehicle in the garage. And then up above, I cut around the wiring here, and I also put my AC ducts through this rear pillar just to save space in the area. And also it's the perfect place for the AC ducting to come out of because it's coming out high up. It's going to cool down the ceiling. I love the location for this, and I just had to cut out 2 holes on either side of the ABS plastic. And then I wanted to spray paint it as well so that it matches the ceiling and the rest of my walls, which I am obsessed with how it turned out. On this D-pillar kit, I am going to have 2 different areas where the air for my AC unit comes out, the cool air. So I need to cut holes for that. Now it's time to fit it in again and see if the hole lines up with the duct, which I hope it does because I already cut it. And then we are going to spray paint it. I have done quite a bit to the van since I last worked on this project, but it's finally time to get this trim piece in. I'm at Lowe's because I needed some materials to finish the trim. I'm gonna get some spray foam because I need to insulate that rear pillar. It has AC ducting going through it, so I want that to be thoroughly insulated. And we're also bringing Choya because he's a bit reactive, and so we do training with him to prepare him for the van, and he's already doing pretty good. We've just been chilling in the parking lot, and he's looking out at everybody, and we're giving him treats anytime he's quiet. Good job. You ready to go inside? One day we really want Choya to be able to interact with a bunch of people and feel really positive about it. But right now, the idea of somebody coming up to him and invading his space really stresses him out. And so to relieve some of that stress and just make the environment more predictable, we have this do not pet sign. I love the color, it's baby blue. I feel like it really helps because people don't approach him as much. And if they try to approach him, we'll just tell them, we're training him, can you please not pet him? He's excited and ready to go. Okay, let's go. Focus. Good job, buddy. Focus. Nope. I am going to fill up this pillar with insulation. This is the stuff I got at Lowe's today. It's the brand Great Stuff, and this is the big gap filler. The black color is the big gap filler, and then there's also stuff for smaller areas, and that one's red. I got 8 of these, and we'll see how much I use, but I'm going to fill up every single crack in this pillar, starting from the bottom and moving up. As you spray it, it expands. You can kind of see that it expanded. I'm gonna do this side now. I'm mainly doing this because the AC duct is in here, and I think it'll make a very big difference because this pillar is gonna get really hot, especially when the sun is shining on it. So having some insulation is really important, and the ducting runs through this pillar. So I'm trying to get it to the right side of it where it's in between the duct, if you can imagine the duct is here, and the wall on either side. So that's what I'm trying to do, but you can't see anything that you're doing. You kind of just have to feel around with the nozzle and make sure you're on the other side of the duct, in between the duct and the sheet metal. You can definitely feel it powerfully filling up this cavity. Whoa! I used 3 cans on just that side alone, and that side's not even fully packed in. I still need to do the top as well. So this is definitely going to be the full 8 cans, I think. I can kind of see it actually coming out. I'm replacing these traditional solar panels with ShadowFlux anti-shading ones from Renogy so that I can power the AC while I finish this van build. These traditional solar panels get partial shade for part of the day, which causes the output to drop to almost 0%. Sometimes Miss Bear likes to walk on them, the building will shade it, all of that will really affect performance. For a long time, this was the standard performance for solar panels. If there was a patch of snow on your solar panels or partial shade, your output would drop to 0%. Even if the majority of the solar panel is in full sunlight. This new Renogy solar panel, on the other hand, utilizes cell-level shadow management technology to maintain nearly 60% of its output, even with 30% shading. And today, we're going to test it out for ourselves. And we're gonna start with my friend Miss Bear here. So right now we're getting 150 watts without any shade. And now when I put Miss Bear over here, we're shading the corner. Right now it's 142 watts with Miss Bear shading this corner. Bye, Miss Bear. The Renogy solar panel is 200 watts and this is 350 watts, but it is not shade resistant. So I'm gonna see how it performs under the same conditions that I test the Renogy one under. Without any shade, we're getting 235 watts. All right, now I'm gonna try to shade this corner with a piece of wood, and that drops it down to 97 watts. With that piece shading it, we have 124 watts. I'm also going to shade this other corner, and now we have 2 different pieces of wood shading the solar panel, which drops it to 60 watts. And then I'm adding a piece here, and that drops it down to 40 watts. And we have 74 watts that way. Oh, 117 watts actually. And that is 80 watts. As you can see, these solar panels performed exceptionally well in partial shading conditions. These solar panels are also 7% smaller and 10% lighter than PERC panels, making it a great choice for van life. They also have IP67 protection, so it will easily endure snow, rain, and even small hail for decades. After testing these solar panels out, I'm definitely going to be getting more of these. And if you too are interested for your RV, boat, or off-grid property, I'm gonna leave the link in the description so you can check it out. So it is the next day, and I knew this was gonna expand, but I had no clue that it would expand this much. This is crazy, actually. It expanded rapidly overnight, but it's really just this section that somehow pooped out everywhere. So I am gonna have to shave this off, but before I do that, I think I'm gonna spray paint the pillars because I'm really excited about that. And I wanna see how the color turns out just in case I need to get a different shade. So let's do it. Miss Bear is here to say hi to us. Hi, Miss Bear. I'm gonna use some of this palette wood to spray paint. Okay. Honestly, that might be enough. I'm gonna move this over here. Step 1, I need to thoroughly clean all of these pieces of plastic so that the spray paint adheres really well. So I'm gonna first start with Windex. Whoa! Now that I cleaned it off, I am going to officially start spray painting. But before I go in with the color, I'm gonna start with this primer. I waited a little bit for the primer to dry, and now I'm gonna come in with the color. It's just an off-white. The color is Matte Clamshell by the brand Krylon. And this is actually considered a paint and primer, so it might have been overkill to do the primer already, but it is a black piece of plastic, so I wanted to make sure that the black wouldn't show through and make it uneven. I am still amazed at how much this puffed up. Like, I had no clue. But I'm gonna use the oscillating tool to chop it off, and it should come off pretty easily, I'm hoping. Oh, there we go. Whoa! That is a ton of wasted material. That's crazy. I think the best method is actually just grabbing it and ripping it off. How does that look?
Good.
Color looks good. This one's here. The trim is done. I'm so happy with how it turned out. If I didn't want to spray paint it and cut out around the ducts and do the foam, it really would have just taken 15 minutes. But this is so customizable. I've seen people put fabric on this. You can keep it black or you can spray paint it like I did. It saved me so much time on this build, and I'm gonna leave the link in the description if you wanna check the trim out. Now I wanna do the ceiling, or at least part of the ceiling, as much of the ceiling as I can do, because I really wanna see the ceiling and the paint that I'm putting on the ceiling with this trim to see how good the color match is. But before I do the ceiling, I'm gonna have to put a piece of wood here on the skylight. I wish I had like something to catch the wood. It's probably gonna go everywhere. Oh my God. That's what happens when you have a disorganized workspace. This is my ceiling. Doesn't look like much yet, but it's gonna be really exciting when it's done, and I just need to make some cuts here so that it fits.
1, 2, 3, 4.
In true Syriac fashion, I made a mistake. So I'm gonna have to redo it. And I just took the panel down that I did yesterday. I'm just gonna trace what I did right and slightly modify and change the things that I did wrong. And hopefully this will be my final time doing this. And just like cut it actually so small, like this should be the cutout. Then I've gotta be fine, right?
So bad.
After putting the trim in, I decided to cut one of my ceiling panels and put that in as well. This is something I would need to do soon anyways, but I wanted to do it this week because I wanted to see how the color matched with the spray paint that I did on the trim kit. For the ceiling panel, I'm using 1/4-inch plywood. I measured around the Max Air fan, the skylight, and the lights, and I cut those holes. And then I went in and I did a primer first. I'm gonna be doing Roman clay on my ceiling and walls. And Roman clay actually sells a base coat and a primer, but I just went with an off-brand primer by the brand Zinsser because it's so much more affordable and I think it's gonna do the job pretty well. So I'm just doing 2 coats of that, and I'm using this massive roller so I can just do it really quickly, and then I'll come in once this dries with the Roman clay. I feel like this color for the primer is actually essentially the color I had in my last van. In this van, I feel like I'm kind of realizing that I don't like this bright of white. I think the idea for the last van was I thought it would make it feel more open. It's such a small space, and I do think light colors can help do that. But I think this super bright white, it just lacks character. So this is my first time using the Roman clay. I actually don't even know how to open it. Okay, it looks like I need to mix it a little bit. After I did the primer, I went in with Roman clay in the color Patagonia. Roman clay is supposed to resemble the plaster walls in Tuscany. It has a little bit of texture. I really like the way it looks. And I love this off-white color, and I love how it turned out. Putting it up with only 2 people was quite a feat, and we actually had to mess around with it quite a bit to get everything lined up. But I love the way it looks. I do still need to adjust and file down these areas around the Max Air fan and the skylight, and I also need to add a top coat. Charlie, the way she jumps.
I know.
For the ceiling, I do still need to do one more panel in the front, and I need to fill in the screws and do one more coat and then the top coat, but I really love how it looks so far, and I'm so happy with how this project turned out this week. If you are interested in seeing how this van comes along, be sure to subscribe and like this video, and I'll see you guys next Sunday. Bye!